Went early?
Steps off.
Yeah, the
So much challenge.
Eagles player who tackled him
Starts
felt really
barking,
bad.
keeps me up here.
All right, we're gonna call to order the Exeter Township Board of Supervisors Budget Workshop. All please rise to pledge the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Township Manager, would you please take roll call?
Ms. Kimura,
Here.
Ms. Kircher,
Here.
Mr. Ham,
Here.
Mr. Pyho, Vice Chairperson,
Here.
Mr. Mohammed, Chairperson.
Here.
All present, sir.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to our first item, which we have presentations, and the first presentation is the engineering department, and I believe Jason Hunter will take care of that, right?
Yep, absolutely. Thank you for having me this evening. My name is Jason Hunter. I am the zoning officer and the head of the engineering department. So I wanted to present my 2026 budget to everyone this evening. Some of the things the engineering department is responsible for is planning, zoning, subdivision, land development, permitting, code enforcement as far as property maintenance, keeping everything nice in the community, building inspections, landfill inspection and monitoring, the West Nile program, PA1 calls, MS4, which is controlling stormwater and pollutants, and also, most important to us is resident and customer service and support. What we do mainly in that department is talk to residents, talk to businesses, see how we can help and support them. Our department is made up of 3 people. It's 2 full-time employees and 1 part-time. I've introduced myself, Jason Hunter, zoning officer, department head. We also have Karen Machado Geis, who is the engineering secretary. She's responsible for all the permitting. By law, we have to turn a permit around in 2 weeks. Karen does it in probably a day, maybe 2 days if it's busy. So she does a great job. Barry Templin is our code enforcement officer. Barry is our part-time employee. Barry does the work of a full-time employee on a part-time salary. He does a great job for the community. Barry's job is code enforcement as far as property maintenance, all the blight. I shouldn't say all the blight, there's not much in Exeter. Thank you to Barry. Any kind of code violations, things like that. Tall grass and weeds, property maintenance items. Performance and achievements for the first through third quarter for '25. And I apologize, I'll try to shorten it down. Last year I went about a half an hour over my allotted, so we're going to try to run a little quicker. Some of the things we've achieved so far this year. We've issued 936 permits, 75 burn permits,
My garage is one of them.
3,900 property files scanned into the SharePoint system. We'll touch base on that a little bit later on. 82 master plumber licenses issued, 31 certificates of fitness. This would be fire safety type related items. 14 trash refuse haulers registered on the township's website. We've also updated 27% of our GIS mapping that had been outdated for quite some time. 793 building inspections completed and 134 plumbing inspections. I'll flip that page, it's glued together or something. There we go. Future goals for the department staff. This is something very, near and dear to us. We're trying to entice new business to come to Exeter to help balance the budget, whether that be businesses, possible new development complexes, possibly down the road looking to start a housing rental inspection program. Some of our housing stock is starting to age and get, a little bit outdated. We want to keep it, make sure everything's nice and safe and keep it nice. Additionally, we're looking to acquire new inspector certifications.
Jason, Mr. Chairman, can we ask a question during?
Absolutely.
Jason, yeah.
Yep.
I missed seeing that before, earlier today. Housing rental inspection program?
So this is something that we're considering possibly doing. Some of our neighboring communities have already started looking into this, and we, as Exeter, we don't want to be left behind, so I'm going to consider looking into it as well. This would be something where if you own a property and you rent that property out, there'd be a permit, and then maybe a bi-yearly inspection, or possibly an inspection when it would change tenants.
Are you going, is somebody, you or on your staff, have to get certified to do this?
I'd like to think, at this moment, like I said, and this is just something we're looking into, goals for '26, but I'd like to think we could do it in-house, yes.
Okay, and the
We
second.
absolutely could do it in-house.
Okay, the second question is, will this require an ordinance eventually?
Yeah, there would be an ordinance change to follow it.
Okay, all right.
This is something that, like I said, nearby communities, I know Amity's looking into this, Lower Alsace already does this. So it would be something we're going to look into. And like I said, some of our housing stock is aging. So this is a great way, we get complaints, I don't want to say complaints, but a call for something that's unsafe in a rental property. So this is a way for us to be proactive instead of just reactive.
Yeah,
We can, get ahead of the game a little bit.
okay, thank you.
I had a question. Would this include temporary rental, like Airbnb? Oh, sorry. Would this include temporary rental, like Airbnb?
Judy,
No,
Gotta pull your mic.
yeah, move it up, pull it up to you.
Okay. My question was, would this include temporary rental situations like Airbnb?
this wouldn't apply to that. This would apply more to long-term housing. Airbnbs are extremely restricted in Exeter. It's certain zones, and it has to fit a strict criteria.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
Some of the projects that we helped oversee in the community this year, Exeter Self-Storage did a major expansion and remodel. We've gained a UPS store, the Vietnamese restaurant. We have 10 new homes that have been built. There's been a Taco Bell renovation, the EAM Architects renovation, and we've also gained an Exeter Community Pharmacy. All that has been managed and run through and overseen by the engineering department. Projected renovations for 2026, we've got a Chick-fil-A renovation on the board. Dollar General is coming to our town. Martin's Appliances is also doing a renovation and a move of their storefront and warehouse. Swing Evolution is also updating their facility, adding a lot of new attractions. Target and Walmart both are going under major renovations, and we will be getting a Jersey Mike's, which will also be through the engineering department. Major new development in Exeter Township, the Eagles Landing, reserve at Eagles Landing, and this is the complex, luxury townhouse and just apartment complex that's going to be behind Home Depot. As I mentioned, Exeter, the engineering department oversees the MS4 project, so a lot of that is rebuilding of culverts in the township that are in need of repair. A few we've done in partnership with the Public Works Department this year was the Ole Turnpike project and the Hearthstone Court Basin. Scheduled upcoming culverts for next year, Boone Road is under contract. Chauffeurs Road is also under contract. East Neversink Road is scheduled. 121 Chauffeurs Road, that's a project where the township acquired the house in order to address a lot of stormwater issues in the local neighborhoods, surrounding neighborhoods, and then the Collin Court Basin. Along with the MS4 program, the engineering department in-house inspects 20% of our outfalls yearly. An outfall is anywhere that stormwater enters a creek. So it's all collected through the inter-systems, the catch basins, and then there's a outfall into a waterway, and we inspect that for any kind of contaminant pollution. The Exeter Township Engineering Department also oversees the West Nile program. We've spoken about that, different venues. I myself am the landfill inspector. So every month, I go down to the facility, do a landfill inspection. I tour the facility with the site manager. They show me anything I ask and, anything I want to see. And then it's followed up by a detailed landfill report once a month. PA1 calls. My department is also responsible for PA1 calls. Call before you dig. So what the township is responsible for is the streetlights and any stormwater systems. Wants and needs. Not really too much we're asking for. We would like to continue updating our GIS mapping system. And we are continuing our scanning program for this upcoming season, digitizing all the files. And another thing we had taken on was our sewage enforcement files were in need of reorganization. So we've taken that on, we're digitizing that as well. Projected revenue, $857,000. The revenue is up in '26, will be projected to be up in '26 by 37% from '25, largely due to the Eagles Reserve luxury apartment complex. With that being said, expenses are at $619,000. That's only a 3% increase. So revenue is up 37, but expenses are only up 3%. I'm pretty proud of that. That's due to the fact that we can do a lot in-house. As I talked about, the adding new certifications and being able to do more in the departments, we don't have to outsource. There's a breakdown there of everything. I won't go into that because that's definitely going to put me over my time limit. Recap. As I mentioned, revenue up 36%, it's almost $250,000. Expenses are only up 17.8 at a 3% increase. We're doing more, every year we do more and more in-house to keep the budget intact. We're going to continually update the department. We strive to have a user-friendly environment, whether it be in person or on the websites. That's everything I have. Questions?
Perfect, Jason. Thank you. Anybody has questions for
Yeah.
Jason?
Yep, yes. Jason, are you aware that PA American is planning an expansion at the sewer plant next year?
Yes.
Okay, is that something that
So-
we would be involved in?
Absolutely. So what we did was there's a few more plans that have been talked of or possibly spoken about. On the one slide where, new projects for '26, I only included anything that we received, plans, permits, subdivision plans, land development plans. If it's just been spoke about or there's a possibility of it changing, we only put in what was concrete, so we can really get a good basis. But yes, I have heard of the expansion.
Okay, yeah, when we did the tour of the plant, they talked about it.
Yep.
On the inflow basins, yeah.
Yeah.
On the inflow basins, expanding, replacing, et cetera. The other question I have is with the increase, I see an increased workload here. Are you comfortable with in-house with handling it, or are you planning on subcontracting, or?
No, our goal is to bring more in-house. My goal is to bring more in-house and cut down on the subcontracting.
Good.
So right now, we're doing very well in-house. As we bring more on, I'd like to think we can handle it in-house. If not, it would have to be addressed. But I'm planning on in-house.
Okay.
Much as we possibly can.
Good, thank you.
Jason, your code enforcement officer upgraded or got a new certification this year too, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was in I think it was probably 25. Yeah, he received his IPMC certification, which is International Property Maintenance Certification. So it gives him a little bit more teeth, a little bit more authority when he goes somewhere to enforce a situation.
Or testify in court?
Yep, testifying in court, it gives him the credentials.
Could you expound a little bit on the upgrading of the GIS? Why that is so important to us and that it when was it last done?
It's been left go for quite some time, and what the GIS system is, it's our online mapping system, and it maps basically our community. Breaks down individual properties, will show accessory structures, features on each individual property. So every time there's a permit, it needs to be added. It had been left go for quite some time, and we had boxes and boxes of boxes. Say you have a pool in your yard, and you might have got it 3 years ago, but it doesn't show on the map. So we're updating those features. It's important, we calculate impervious surface whenever you're doing impervious, meaning it doesn't absorb water. So you want to do a building or something. As we're calculating it, we need to know what's on that property. You can only cover so much of your land, so it's important to know. It cuts down on the site visits in-person site visits. So we're updating that, and it's nice for the community to be able to look at an actual live updated mapping as well.
Thank you.
And we spent $8,000 last year, and we got 27% of it done. So I feel that's a lot of, that's a big accomplishment for only $8,000.
Yeah, and the time that it will cut down on everyone who needs to
Yes.
review this kind of thing is way beyond that.
Yeah, if I can look online, it's going to save me a trip out. So when we talk about keeping things in-house and having time, if you can look at it online and know exactly what you have and what you're looking at, instead of having to do a site visit. And sometimes you have to do a site visit, but if you can cut down on them, it frees up a lot of time, a lot of staff time.
I had a question about the in-house. Could you give examples of work kept in-house to save cost?
Yeah, so at one point, property maintenance was done, as a contractor, so we have that in-house. A few years ago, I achieved my International Residential Building Inspector's License. So if you're building a deck, I can inspect it myself. We don't have to use a subcontractor to do that. I'm already here, I'm already getting paid, I can do it and save the money. So we want to obtain more certifications. In '26, I want to have my electrical inspector's license, so I can do the electrical inspections. Anything we can get in-house, we need our subcontractors. They're a great resource and, a fantastic resource. But the more we can do to balance a budget in-house is what we try to do. No different than, Public Works, if they, I know they can pave in-house and do those things. We're trying to do the same thing with, bring what we can in-house.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Got a couple of things for you, Jason. The first one, the rental inspection.
Yep.
I kind of encourage you to move forward with that program.
Absolutely.
It's,
Something I am passionate about it. I want to keep us in line with all the other communities around us.
Yeah, that will save us a lot of headaches down the comes the future.
Yep.
Projected expenses pie chart. You have a couple of zeros, and I can't for the life of me figure where they belong.
Let me, I can't see it from there. Let me go to my page here. Give me 1 second. Okay.
Just what was cut?
Yep, let me go. Oh, I'm sorry, I was on revenue. Okay, it's tiny.
Is that code ENF?
I'm trying to think. It looks like maybe code enforcement consulting.
Code enforcement general.
Yeah, I think it was code enforcement consulting, if I'm looking at that correctly.
As long as it's
It may
not
have been something that we had outsourced in the past that now is in-house. I believe there was a time we didn't have a code enforcement officer, and some things were getting outsourced. We no longer need to do that. That's why it's a zero expense.
Perfect. Your biggest piece of the pie, 155, and again, with the coloring and the pie
Yes.
chart, does not help me. Is it zoning and planning engineering reviews? Or is it vehicle?
It's definitely not vehicle.
Okay, then
It's,
if it's not
it's
vehicle,
zoning
I'm
and
good.
planning, zoning and planning review. So those are things that have to be done by our engeneer.
That's
Yeah.
Just making sure it's not vehicle.
No. Larry made me get rid of the Escalade.
We're in the vehicle inspection business now.
Yeah, that's engineering fees from Great Valley Consultants.
Other than that, 10 out of 10, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
I
you.
do have one.
Sure.
The solar panels for the ordinance.
Yes.
Are you
It
getting?
is under review. I've been speaking with Bill about it. I did speak with our planning commission, who stated that they did review it just a few years ago. There is one item that I do want to add, that we've indicated we are missing, and I want to have it done by the end of the year, is basically removal, you know.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
It is, it is. It more pertains to like a solar farm or something, you know, if someone, a rooftop for residential, it's not gonna really come into play, but something like a solar farm, we don't really have anything like that at the moment. School's doing a larger project, but yes, that is absolutely something we're working on.
So we were in PSAT's Berks County, I guess, convention,
Yes,
and it appears to be that there is a ready kind of
yeah.
template that
The
we could
state,
borrow. And, yep.
Yes.
Just-
Well, we don't
just
even have to
heads up.
borrow it. They're enacting it, which would make it apply
Okay,
to Exeter, but we still want to do something in-house.
perfect.
Yeah, I think PSAC's, Dave, when he talked to, he said he talked about it.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's nobody else, then we'll move on to our next presentation.
Great job, Jason.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Which would be Parks and Recs by Becky.
Hi, everyone. I'm Becky Mancuso. I'm the Parks and Recreation Coordinator for Exeter Township. The Parks and Recreation Department is responsible for park and trail maintenance with the assistance of the Public Works Department. So Larry is my direct supervisor. He helps me with anything that I may need related to Parks and Rec. We're responsible for planning and implementing all community-wide events, handling all facility rentals for pavilions, sports fields, and the Dunn Community Center, completing all program planning and enrollments for summer sports and the playground program. Our biggest 2025 accomplishment is completing the Pineland Park project. It was inspected by Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources to verify the project was completed in accordance with the scope of work agreement. The project is now complete, and the celebration was on August 2nd of 2025. So I don't know if you guys were all able to come out and make it. I know that Mohammed was there. It was really great to have the community be able to celebrate with us. The Parks and Recreation Department also brought back our summer playground program at Lorraine Hollow, which maxed out at 140 children. We're currently looking forward to extending the hours, which is some feedback that we had this year. We sent a survey to all the parents who enrolled, and they would like to have us extend some hours and making some improvements in 2026. The program was run Monday through Thursday, 9 to 2, with optional field trip Fridays at a 10-to-1 ratio. The Dunn Community Center had 233 reservations so far this year, totaling 1,997 hours. Trout Run Sports Complex had 27 reservations, totaling 5,277 hours, and was the home of various Berks County sports teams, including Stonersville Flames and Exeter Youth Football and Cheerleading. Farming Ridge Park had 20 reservations, totaling 672 hours. Lorraine Hollow Park had 45 reservations, totaling 817 hours. And Pineland Park had 36 reservations, totaling 1,012 hours. Our summer basketball league was relocated to Pineland Park and had 109 participants. Tennis camp was partnered with Hillcrest Racket Club again. There were 25 participants. It was mainly relocated inside due to the weather this year. They had to take it into Hillcrest this year, which they were fine with doing. And then our summer playground program maxed out at 140 participants with a wait list of over 20. There were an average of 80 registrations for each field trip.
Great.
So this was kind of brought to your attention last year, our All Abilities Playground for Trout Run. I did apply for a DCNR grant in April of 2025, so I am waiting to hear back from that. The play equipment would be suitable for children of all ages and abilities with partial port-in-place surfacing, which you can see in the picture, which would be easy access for navigating between the equipment. The projected site would be next to the existing pavilion at the sports complex. Like I said, it is in the 2025 budget currently. We are waiting to hear back from DCNR about the grant. The determination should be announced by the end of this year, but as of now, we haven't heard back. Farming Ridge Playground it needs a little bit of love. As you can see, the top picture is what we currently have. The Recreation Department is hoping to expand the current playground at Farming Ridge Park. It is one of the least used parks that we have in the township due to the current equipment at that location. These upgrades would directly impact the residents of Glenolly Farms, Farming Ridge, Jackson Meadows, and other surrounding developments, as well as the residents who are willing to commute to the park. The existing equipment would remain at the facility with the addition of 3 swing bays and a play structure, which you can see in the bottom pictures. Funding requests for 2026, we have the big event funding. Our Egg Hunt, I'm requesting $4,000, which would provide the candy, egg stuffers, and activities for the events. This number is based on the cost that we spent in 2025 to hold the event. The Hayride is our largest event, which you can see in the bottom picture. That was from this past last week. My hope is to expand and add a dark maze. Years ago, we did have a haunted house there, so I'm going to try to work and bring that back to what we used to have. A lot of people request it, so that's my goal for 2026. Festival of Lights, $2,500 to replace some of the outdated decor. Supplies, hot cocoa cookie bar. Sanitor, $3,500 to replace anything for the trailer, any decorations, candy canes, and the dog biscuits to be handed out on the tour. And then other events, we have $5,000, which is the community trunk or treats and any other community events that we would be invited to participate in. Summer recreation and sports. I have a field trip expense of $13,000. The field trips would be paid for by the registrants of the playground program via MyRec. Summer general expense, $8,000, would be supplies for summer basketball and summer playground program, including shirts and trophies. Summer contracted services would be field trip transportation through Exeter School District, which again would be paid for by the registrants of the playground program via MyRec. Park maintenance, general expense, we have $26,150, which would update our playground safety surfacing. It needs to be done every year just to make sure that all of our parks are safe. They have to be up to a standard. We need at least 12 inches of mulch at each playground. We need to add Dynatex to each baseball field every year just to fill in all the holes that happen throughout the winter. And then supply the paint for all of the fields and any minor repairs of the parks. Park maintenance contracted services, we have $56,800, would cover the internet being added to all township parks, new camera systems, the toilet rentals for Trout Run Sports Complex, and then we do have water testing, which is required by DEP for Pineland Park and Trout Run Sports Complex because they're both on well water. Our estimated revenue for 2026, our recreation program fees should bring in $117,000. Field trip transportation revenue should bring in about $18,000. Facility rentals would be around $80,000. Summer sport program, $11,400. Special event fees, which is any donations, around $8,000. And then sport field rentals, $18,100. So our total estimated is $252,500. So I'm going to talk about what the park fund is, which is the Farming Ridge upgrades as well as the Trout Run upgrades. The Farming Ridge, the park fund is used to make the repairs and significant improvements to parks in our community. It is supported through donations, grants, and fees from construction projects within the township. Our requests for this year are the Dunn Community Center to replace the carpet with the laminate flooring upstairs. We did have this budgeted for 2025 as well. A portion of the flooring would be purchased in 2025, but due to the price increase, we would have to split it, purchase half in 2025, half in 2026. Lorraine Hollow needs minor repairs of the play equipment, as well as fixing the fence bordering the park, which is deteriorating. Pineland Park, $100,000 to install the fences around the basketball courts, as well as resurface both basketball courts. Farming Ridge Park, which I talked about in a prior slide, would be around $85,000 for the addition of the play structure, 3 swing bays, and safety surfacing and grading. The Trout Run all-inclusive playground is going to cost about $595,826. That would include installation of the equipment, safety surfacing, walking paths, and an information board. And then Crestwood Fields is currently an unused space that the township owns and pays for mowing services on. We would like to renovate this area to be used for Exeter youth sports. The money would be used to level the area and install netting next to 422 to ensure safety. Our estimated park fund revenue is $440,000, largely due to fees from the development in the township, which Jason had talked about. And then I did apply for the DCNR grant for $250,000 for Trout Run Sports Complex. Does anybody have questions?
Yes.
How about it?
You want me to start?
Go ahead.
Okay. 2 questions, Becky.
Yes.
First off, is in the past, we've had a lot of vandalism at the parks and all. Is that still continuing, or is with the cameras and all? And maybe this might be a question for the chief or Larry, but
It is actually a lot less now. I mean, as a matter of fact, I do have to go to court November 3rd for vandalism that happened in '21. So that's finally reaching the courts now for Lorraine Hollow that was vandalized. But we did see a reduction in that. Most of our vandalism is when we had community park. We don't have that park anymore. And plus, which is really nice, is having the police presence in our park with helping with doing some of the closing and stuff like that. So I believe that and the security cameras have been really helping out with a lot of that. So I believe it's been really reduced.
okay, good. That's good to hear.
Yes.
Thank you. The second question is, if I understood Crestwood, when you said along 422 and you said unused, if it's the area I'm thinking about, when I go by it, there's T-ball being played in there, football, with the kids and everything, or am I thinking the wrong place?
You're thinking the right area, but it's been many years since T-ball's been there. So it's actually a field. It's a nice open field, like I said, like Becky said. It's been maintained with our mowing contractor, but there is so much more use that we could get at because we're out of sports fields, and so is the school out of sports fields, and there's more kids playing sports than there is fields. So we thought we would utilize that space more for like, for instance, if we could get 2 soccer fields there. We could make that field more useful. And like Becky says, we want to make sure we're security, so we don't want the soccer ball going out to 422 like we used to deal with the golf balls from the country club. So we were already preparing to like put poles up with the nets and stuff like that. The cost is so high is because we were going to have to bring a contractor in to do some of this grading. It's the same contractor that basically did Trout Run many years ago when we put the football field in. However, the cost is going to be driven up because the amount that is estimated for his services puts us in the prevailing wage. So that's why you see the higher cost. But we do feel that we could get more use out of that than just a mow a field.
Good, good. I said 2, but a third one. You had amazing participation this past year with the various events, activities and all, with a waiting list and all. And you said you plan to make it even better next year. Could you maybe elaborate a little bit some of your plans or thoughts for the residents?
So we did send a survey out to the participants and their families at the end of our playground program. A lot of them were neutral, kind of didn't really care if we extended hours or not, but we are going to extend them slightly. It'll be an extra hour and a half to their time. We'll still do the field trip Fridays as optional, and we are going to expand to 180 kids this coming year. So that obviously means more staff, but we'll be able to handle it. We did just fine this year, so.
Very good. Thank you.
The cost for the parents, is that going to be reflected on with all this, the increase in time and the amount of people?
Yeah. Yeah, so I sat with Sarah. We did figure out the cost for all of the staff members, the lead staff members, all of the kids, if we would max out again. Their cost that they would be paying would cover our wages and the supplies that we would need. So the township wouldn't really be making anything, kind of like last year, but we would be able to have the service. And it is still significantly less than the surrounding communities, so.
Very good.
Doing an amazing job. Really are.
Very good.
Hearing none? 10 out of 10. Good work. Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, next, our IT department.
Yes.
Do we even have to listen to this?
Oh,
Just-
we're cutting everything in half now, right?
All right.
You almost had me there for a second with the other screen.
We had a problem. All right. Good evening. I'm Larry Pearsall, the Director of Public Works for Exeter Township. And just a department overview, our mission statement is the Public Works Department is committed to providing the highest quality of service, road maintenance, building maintenance, and park maintenance with repairs of our infrastructure. The department focuses on fiscal responsibilities and dedication to a job being done correctly, safely, and professionally, while being able to quickly deal with daily unforeseen problems and tasks. Our department is made up of 15 full-time crew members, 1 part-time employee, and 2 seasonal staffs. Plus, our recreation coordinator would, like she mentioned, reports to me. And also, we have 2 mechanics, but currently 1 position open. I'd also like to list 2 other positions that are currently open, which is the fleet manager that we used to have in 2017, that we don't have no more, that rolled over to me. And also, the assistant director of public works is also a position that was never filled for the past 2 years. So just wanted to make sure, this is not just the current open position right now, it's just not the mechanic's position. All right, the department responsibilities. So building maintenance, township buildings, Dunn Center, library, and parks amenities. We do leaf collection. As a matter of fact, we started full swing today until December 15th. Snow removal, so we do it for township-owned properties like the Dunn Center, the library, parking lots in our parks areas, and plus our roads and sidewalks owned by the township. Stormwater system repair and maintenance, paving, road maintenance, tree trimming, patch repair, street signs, et cetera. And like I said, we have mechanics for the vehicle and equipment maintenance as well. So some of the accomplishments for 2025 is we completed the 2025 milling and paving project for the township roads, even though it was a really wet year, so it was really hard to try to schedule everything in with all the rain we had. We installed also a new basketball court at Pineland Park, so there used to be 1, now there is 2 currently there. Like Becky said, for our basketball program that we do in the summertime. We did install a seal coat and paint lines on the Pineland Park basketball court, so we did both of them, the new one and the old one. And we also started our catch basin repairs, which are starting to crumble with the galvanized piping and everything that we have some areas through the township. We provided support for the recreation department events, oversaw the completion of the Pineland Park project with the DCNR grant, mowing of roadways and retention ponds, and basic road maintenance like potholes, trees, signs, and et cetera. So here is our list that we did complete for 2025. There is 1 street that we could not do, which is not on this list. It had to move over to, but other than that, we did complete everything else on this list. The road we did take off wasn't because we couldn't get to it. It was because of a project that was going on that street that required utilities to be brought into the property. So we didn't want to go and repave the road for us to have to, either deny them to have utilities to their property or have our new road cut open. Here is our list that we plan on paving for 2026. As you can see, the cost at the very bottom, it's also, everything is out of liquid fuels, so just so you know that. Here is our liquid fuels budget for this year. So if you remember last year, I talked about our liquid fuels budget. They told us to prepare for a 2% decrease each year. This year, we did the math, and it is actually 1.6% decrease. So it's not a quite full 2%. So liquid fuels, we have an area there where we can purchase some equipment. However, it's only a certain amount that we're allowed to use for liquid fuels for some equipment. So what I'm asking to do with is I'm looking to buy 2 pieces of equipment through the liquid fuels, which is a new sign truck. It's a Ford F-550 utility body with everything we need. It's pretty much like 11-foot body on the back of that truck that hauls everything that we would need. So it's $110,000 is estimated for that truck. And also a new rear mount mower for an existing tractor for our side mowers. So the mower that we have now is basically wore out. The pinholes that hold the mower on are oblong. It's all steel, which is something that can't be repaired. So this mower is, the last time it was purchased was 2014, so that's why we're asking for a new one. So that does qualify for the liquid fuels. And also, I'd like to also mention, too, that this is the only real equipment that we're buying. I did meet with Lieutenant Schaefer about, and also myself, with equipment for next year out of the equipment fund. When we started doing the budget, we talked about 3 vehicles. We talked about getting a Chevy pickup truck with a cap, Chevy Tahoe for the police also, the pickup would be for the police, and a Ford Explorer for the police, plus a pickup truck cap for one of our for one of our trucks that we have currently in traffic. We've been talking about putting one on for the past 3 years now. With meeting with Steve and looking at our vehicles, trying to keep costs down, what we did is we eliminated all them vehicles out of the Township Equipment Fund. However, the Friends of Exeter Police have stepped up and are willing to purchase the cap for the pickup truck that is currently in the fleet. The cost of that cap is roughly about $4,500. So currently, like I said, the Friends of Exeter Police are working on purchasing that cap for the police department out of all the fundraising they've been doing. So I just wanted to note that. So the budget overview. So as you can see, in 2025, our budget was $3,105,286. In 2026, we're looking for $3,311,658, with an increase of $206,372. The driver for these costs is building maintenance for the library. We do all the building maintenance there. We're currently having a lot of issues with the parking lot lights, not working, some working, very dim. So what we were looking at doing is swapping all of them out with LED lights in our parking lot with better timers and everything else like that. Plus, we also got to look at the building, 26 years old. So what other stuff could happen with our units as we are seeing here at the Township building as well. And saying that about this building here, as you know, we just had an AC unit replaced on the police department side. 2 years ago, we had one on the Township side. There's a third one on our roof currently, 34 years old, that they said is probably not far behind that. We do have a grant out that we're looking to purchase. Hopefully, if we get the grant, we're hoping to purchase that new unit through that grant. Plus, we need some ductwork repair work here at the Township building that we're hoping to be in that grant. And also, our waste oil burner that is to heat our garage that burns the waste oil is also failing. So if the grant comes through, we will see a savings on this. If the grant doesn't come through, this is stuff that is still needed for the building. So we're hoping that we get a ton of support for the LSA grant, that we can purchase this stuff through the grant. Tino did an excellent job of filing for that, so fingers crossed and move on from there. The other cost is contracted wages and insurance, which is something that can't be avoided. So next thing is, does the board have any questions for me?
Go back one slide, Larry, if you would. The maintenance that you're talking about doing, will you do that in-house with your staff?
For the lights or for the heating and air conditioning stuff? The heating and air conditioning stuff,
Heating, air
we do
conditioning,
not do, no.
Yeah, you'll subcontract.
Right. The lights, we will probably assist if it's something that our current contractor can do. we do assist him in other projects, like, for instance, we did keep the cost down at Pineland when we ran the lights for the new area. The road crew guys did all the conduit and helped pull the wire through just to keep the cost down. So if it's something that he can do, that'd be great, but we won't know until we get that far into this project.
Yeah, understandable. Thanks. That's all I had.
Anybody else have questions for Larry?
Excellent job as always, Larry.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Thank you. We thank our your department, definitely proud to see Exeter streets cleared from the snow before even PennDOT tries to go out and clear snow. I'll take that step towards my ex-employee.
Well, I appreciate it very much. There is so much more that we do that I wouldn't have the time to really list everything that we do in this Public Works Departments, but we do try to assist as much as we can, our police department, our fire department, everything, so.
We appreciate it, Larry. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Go ahead. Would you like to sign up, please, if you want to make a comment?
I don't know what was going to be said. Yeah, Tom Howe, Post Office Box 4635. Two FYIs. American Water is merging with another larger company, going to be one of the biggest utilities in the United States. I don't know how that's going to affect our area. We might have more rate increases. The other thing with the rentals, the school district requires the kids to do X amount of community work. Maybe you can get somebody from the school to go through the tax records and do the people who are sent out to a different location. It is probably a rental. Okay.
Good thought.
The other thing is the building maintenance at the library. Is the wooden truss going to get fixed?
That is included in that as well for next year.
And what about the mold on the right side of the stonework?
On the exterior of the building?
Yes.
Yes, we met with Julie over there, and we actually are planning on pressure washing that building in spring.
But it keeps coming back and coming back. If you look at the flashing, there's a possibility you can get somebody to do some sort of work. At the end, when the water comes down to the end, it just drops down the stonework. So if you put something there and you run up some, not piping, but the downspout, to connect to that downspout that's right there, you eliminate that water, and then you should eliminate that, I think it's mold, right?
I'll take a look at that. We do see the little particles there, but we also know that we have been seeing that other places as well, which we were told it's not really a mold. I forget what they call it, but we will take a look at it in case it's a different area than what we're talking about.
If it's a live deal, it could eventually do something to the stonework.
Right.
And then we'd have to replace it, and that would be extremely difficult.
Yeah, I'll definitely go back and relook at it again tomorrow, because I didn't look at the stonework at all.
Okay, well, all right? Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, whenever you're done. Thank you for your notes. There's no other public comments. Moving on to adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. We'll meet you guys in about 10 minutes for the Board of Supervisors.